I never thought I'd change so much in 4 years. The world as I knew it was no more. I was coast to coast, lost in time zones, searching for stories, for purpose. I've learned so much in so little time. A small Jamaican girl who wanted to shine. From films to friendships, changes in tech, and time to hone my talents. I've come out a phoenix, forged in fire. Now I've spread my wings. Are you ready to soar? Hi everybody, it's Amanda and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I do recognize I've been away for a year. Let's talk about that. Where has Amanda been?
Bella! Where the hell have you been, Loca?
What am I doing now? This video is basically going to be a little bit of a reintroduction. First of all, where have I been? Amanda has been focusing on college. I just graduated from the University of Georgia in May. Finding my footing, I guess, after putting so much hard work and effort into the last 4 years, which is I think one of the reasons why I kind of fell off in the first place. It wasn't because I didn't have content. Believe me, I realized I was changing so quickly and it was hard to adapt. Not to mention I was traveling all the time and working all the time, and the jobs that I was doing were creative jobs, so they were taking up all my creative energy, and it became overwhelming eventually to do more than just a social media post here or there. I was basically learning how to be an adult. So you guys have seen me go to Oxford, you've seen me go to London, you've seen me go to South Korea. Since then, I've gone to India. I've done an exchange in Ecuador for 6 months. I moved to LA for a summer to work. I've done a lot of different things that I'm very excited to talk about and show you guys on my platforms. The traveling was what really gave me a breath of fresh air amidst everything going on. The jobs that I was doing, I've done pretty much every aspect of the production process. So I had a multimedia assistant job with UGA alumni. I worked with Red cameras, Canon, Sony, Lumix, everything that you could imagine they had. Learned to work with green screens and really refine my Photoshop and Premiere skills. And then after that, I was a social media manager, and I'm very, very proud of the work that I did there. If you guys want to see the types of UGC stuff that I create for different brands, then please head to my website because I'm definitely open for business. But outside of that, the job I guess I really looked forward to the most was the one I did last summer, which was like a media planning internship, and my client was Searchlight Pictures, which is the production company I love the most. So it was really, really cool to get to be behind the scenes in that way. I literally was living my dream, and I will get back to LA eventually, promise you that. But yeah, since graduating and I guess since concluding all of my travel, I think I'm more chill now. I think I've realized I have less to say, but only because I have more to think about. Took the time to rest and then really think about what I want the rest of my 20s to look like. That being said, I've learned how to cook. I've really learned how to provide for myself and rely on my own plans and the money I make and everything. Like, this has been a real lesson in independence and adulting, and I don't think I would have had that if I stayed at home in Jamaica. Right now, what am I doing? Amanda is currently unemployed, which means I have a lot more time to rake through all of my creative content, all of the travel things, all of the photos, and find a very creative way to share it with you guys, which is what I'm most excited about, because my mission has been to really establish myself as a travel and entertainment creator. So when I say creator, I don't mean like influence. My goal is not to make you guys victims to capitalism, because let me tell you something, it's a very easy thing to do, I think, when you have a digital platform. But what I really want to encourage y'all to do is interact with the world more critically, more emotionally, interact with your communities more, learn more things, do the things you love. And I really hope that the content that I've shot so far and the stories that I'm gonna tell with that content help y'all embrace that. Which is why right now is a perfect time to be unemployed. Not only is the economy really, really bad and all kinds of things are hitting the fan, it's like a potato.
A potato flew around my room before you came.
I just think there is no better time to prioritize my art, because I do feel like even though coming to UGA has been a dream and moving to the US was a dream I had for a very long time, all that glitters is not gold. There are things about living here that I do not like. and now I'm kind of figuring out where I'm going next. So stay tuned because I have a big announcement at the end of this video. So we'll get into that in a few. Starting off on a light note, the first question is, and I kid you not, it's gonna pop up right here. Am I your favorite Mexican? Matter of fact, Carolina, you are the only Mexican I know thus far. So guess what? You are my favorite Mexican because you're a great friend. How has university abroad changed you for better and for worse? I think for worse, I'm a little bit less patient. Going forward, I'm gonna be met with more resistance than I've been met with here. I guess because, you know, you can order something on Amazon and have it the next day. So it's stuff like that, the instant gratification that I get from completing tasks, I think is something that has negatively affected me in a way. For the better, as I said, definitely more independent. The first time I traveled after going to college was my first Thanksgiving, and it felt so weird that I wasn't going home, because usually when you're leaving the state, oh, I'm going back to Jamaica, but no. So learning how to really stand on my own, especially when traveling, and advocate for myself in terms of government documents and applications and things like that, I've really stretched and grown that muscle. What improvement are you most proud of as a creator over the years? Oof. The first videos I did were in my closet. It was dark on a 720 pixel camera, and moving up from that, I've really learned how to manipulate lighting and color theory in the ways that I want to see it. And I'll show on the screen like a few things I've worked on and lit, and I think I really enjoy that process. Okay, this is a good one. What keeps you going in the midst of missing your friends and family? So my first 2 years in America, I struggled with that a lot. I'd come home and every time I leave Jamaica, I'd cry and be depressed about it and everything. And something changed within the last year and a half, I would say. 2024, I decided to go as long as possible without going home. I went home in March for a funeral, and then went from March until December or early November without going home. That's the longest I've spent away from home. What has held me together during that time is knowing when to stop looking. I follow a lot of Jamaicans because I like keeping in touch with people, and I'm very good at keeping in touch with people from home. However, when you see people going to the grill and eating jerk chicken in Boston Bay and doing river rafting and riding horse and going to the beach and going to the river, and the things that really get me are the film festivals, the Calabash Festival, Gat Fest. When I start thinking of those things, I get really homesick. So as much as I enjoy that type of content, I try not to view it because out of sight, out of mind. And I speak to my parents. I keep in very good touch with my friends that are in similar situations. Most of my friend group migrated to go to college abroad, so it's like all of us are kind of living a similar thing and know what the other person is grappling with. So it's been easy to know that I'm not alone. That being said, Dana is also Jamaican, and she's been in quite a few of my vlogs as well. You guys can go watch like the old college vlogs, but having that Jamaican next to you and living near to Atlanta really helps. Like I just went to Atlanta Carnival. I have been going to Atlanta like every year for like different things. So Kes was here one year, Protege was here another year with Leela. That's basically how I kept myself from missing people too much. The other thing is finding hobbies and getting stressed about something else. When I'm working, I'm fine. All the other questions have to do with something I'm about to start talking about. So you will notice that on my Instagram and on my TikTok, you will find different types of videos, all surrounding traveling, entertainment, film, that sort of thing, food as well. I'm doing different series to give the algorithm, I'm feeding the algorithm basically, but there's also so many videos I wanted you guys to see. So I'm gonna talk about places that changed me, postcards to myself, things I wish I knew, or things that I was meditating on in my journals when I was in a certain destination. Unfiltered travel logs, so things that happened to me while I was traveling that can only be told really candidly. I'll tell some of those stories here as well when they're longer story times, but the shorter ones will be on one of those platforms. And more cinematic content, so kind of using the skills I've learned in college to tell what I feel will be an interesting story. Now, where is Amanda going? What's happening now that I've graduated? Where am I? I mean, I have to leave the US at some point. Where am I going? I'm moving to China.
I got a good feeling about this.
So I'll be going to Tsinghua University to do a Master's of Science in Global Affairs. You guys will get all of my Black girl in China experiences. I have been learning Chinese. Big plans. So if you have been here since day one, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Most of you guys that are subscribed have been subscribed for a very long time, which really warms my heart to know that you guys are always there and you're always like ready to watch something new from me. If you're new, welcome. I'm Amanda. I make stories about the places that change you, the stories that move you, and everything in between. See you in the video next week. Bye guys.